Mahua, please start.
Are we online? So good evening, everyone. I'm Mahua Sen, and on behalf of IPPL, I welcome each one of you to celebrate our 78th Independence Day through the beautiful and powerful art of poetry and music. Because art is a bridge that brings people together, rebuilding and molding a more connected world. And we are celebrating 78th year of freedom, but uh, are we really free? Free of fear, free of being judged, free of injustice, free to move around, to say the least, and free of the hostile joy we derive in another's mortal moans. It's a time to ponder over all these, and yet it is also important to remember that India is a magnificent tapestry of diverse cultures, religions, and languages, and we must pledge to uphold the values of harmony, respect, tolerance for each other, and we must pledge to make India a better place of Kobi Guru's dreams, a nation where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. And on this note, I would like to welcome our EC President, IPPL, Professor Shanjukta Dashgupta, and I request her to set the tone for this session. Shanjukta ma'am, please. Shanjukta ma'am.
Ma'am, your audio is mute.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's just wonderful that IPPL is able to bring us all together on this platform. And we celebrate the 78th year of India's independence, which is absolutely an important I think we have got almost 2 years away from the 8th decade of our independence. And in these 7 decades and going up to the 8th, many of us have been born after independence. I think everyone here have been born after independence. So we have not really experienced what it was to be under a foreign ruler. But we have heard about it. History has recorded that, and you do not have to be physically present everywhere in order to understand what oppression is, what exploitation is, what subjugation is. And so this is a great moment that we are celebrating on the 15th of August, 2024, as we did way back when none of us were present, but our parents and grandparents were present. That was the 15th of August, 1947, when India became independent. Independence on the 15th of August is not just to be free from British colonial rule for over 200 years, as Mahua rightly pointed out. Independence is about celebrating freedom, and that is freedom from fear, freedom of the mind, freedom of expression, freedom of movement, freedom to celebrate one's own identity and the collective identity of all citizens of India, irrespective of class, caste, gender, and religion. We have one collective identity. We are free Indians in a free India, and we celebrate our freedom in both our thoughts as well as action. And once again, to repeat what Mahua just referred to, of course, we have to go back to our poet, our timeless Tagore, where Rabindranath had written, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic war. And here I'm a little tempted to sing a two short stanzas, if the coordinators allow me. Can I do that?
Please, ma'am. Yes, of
Please,
course.
আর
ma'am.
যদি বেসুর হয় তোমরা হাসবে না।
না, একদম না।
আচ্ছা, but I'm very tempted today. ধন ধান্যে পুষ্পে ভরা আমাদের এই বসুন্ধরা, তাহার মাঝে আছে দেশ এক সকল দেশের সেরা, ও যে স্বপ্ন দিয়ে তৈরি সে দেশের স্মৃতি দিয়ে ঘেরা, এমন দেশটি কোথাও খুঁজে পাবে না কো তুমি, সকল দেশের রানী সেজে আমার জন্মভূমি, সে যে আমার জন্মভূমি, সে যে আমার জন্মভূমি। I'll skip many stanzas and go to the last one. ভাইয়ের মায়ের এত স্নেহ কোথায় গেলে পাবে কেহ, উমা তুমি দেশেতে জন্ম যেন এই দেশেতেই মরি, এমন দেশটি কোথাও খুঁজে পাবে না কো তুমি, সকল দেশের রানী সেজে আমার জন্মভূমি, সে যে আমার জন্মভূমি, সে যে আমার জন্মভূমি। Thank you, everyone.
Wow. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that beautiful, beautiful song.
Thank
May
you.
the spirit of freedom inspire us to reach new heights. Let each one of us be the harbinger of love and light. So thank you so much, ma'am. Now I
Thank you.
request my co-host, Monica, to take the session forward from here. Monica, please.
Good evening, everyone. Today we have gathered online to express ourselves. Let us not forget that it is this freedom which our country was once fighting for. It is my privilege to have the opportunity to introduce the poetry reading for this evening. Without further ado, I call the first poet reading today, Manali Poetry.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible enough?
Yes.
Okay. Very good evening on this auspicious occasion of our 78th Independence Day. I would, continue on the lines of what has been said so far. In terms of freedom, what do we understand by freedom? I mean, till this afternoon, I was thinking as to what to say with regard to this, because so much has already been said and recorded in terms of what independence means. To me, when I thought about it on a deeper level, I thought, independence means maybe self-sustained, to be free, to be self-sustained, the freedom to be self-sustained, to have the ability to sustain oneself. And India, I think 78 years back on that particular night, became a self-sustained country in terms of, political, in terms of cultural development, in terms of development and evolution in every respect that is possible for a country to be. However, given the circumstances that we are in today, it, sort of disturbed me, obviously disturbed all of you who are present here today. Given the circumstances, we really need to question the presence of this self-sustenance in our environment. Are we actually, or do we actually have the freedom to be self-sustained, to be independent of everything around us, or rather independent as individuals to lead our lives on our own terms? yesterday I was working for the last 3 days. Actually, I was working in a similar situation where the young lady was, a few nights back. I was working, some of my friends who are, friends with me on Facebook may have seen my post. I was working in an empty hall at the University of Bardhaman, the guest house of the University of Bardhaman. I was there alone. It was completely empty. And the question actually arose in my mind as to should I be afraid of this situation? I've been there for the last, I don't know, 10, 12 years now. Never has this question, arisen in my mind, whether I should feel insecure in my own country, in my own workplace. But yesterday it did. But what happened yesterday night, so many people coming together in solidarity with each other, not just the young lady, but with each other. That, I think, gave me the confidence to be fearless, to be not so insecure about my presence in an empty. It gave me the confidence to be free of that fear. And I think that is the difference that I had with that young lady. Maybe she was, I don't know if she was, we are in no position to say if she did not have the fear. Maybe she was just so sleep deprived that she desperately needed some hours of sleep. But I did not have that fear. And I think because of the fact that there were so many people, coming in solidarity with each other yesterday night. And I, at this point of time, would like to be positive in this direction. And I would like to wait for that day when we will be delivered into that paradise, into that idyllic country where each one of us will feel secure, free, fearless in our own country. So my today's recitation would, I think, cover that aspect of independence, where I'm waiting for the day when I would be all these things. And at that point of time, I think I will be truly independent. So I wait today. I wait is my poem today. Black like history and lies, the ocean ahead of spies. From long lost lures that flood red roads, the time comes like a glorious sun above the false hopes of screaming voices on the run. Where are the true veins with true blood drops flowing into pens? Where are the trees that bear unicorn dreams? Why do they evade the best of our needs? Why do they hide in quiet pieces of sand and build castles only in the acid air? Where are they, I ask? I ask under every sun, under every moon, in every crashing wave, in every freshly dug grave. The silence, it deafens not my ears, but the last brick of my core. I'm waiting for the music now. The call to action, from fall to creation, the conch shell sound to battle. I wait not on Sinai, not on the Jantar Mantar, not at the assembly hall, and not at the burning wall, but before the toned down lanes of modern times, for the sun to shine again on polished thoughts, on wave masts, on building blocks of newer climes. And I think if I wait long enough without any action, that is not going to come. So yesterday night, when the action came, the fearlessness came, and I hope we will be, as I said earlier, delivered into that paradise. I don't know by father or mother, or I don't know, neutral entity, but we shall be delivered. Thank you.
Thank you, Manalini, for such a thought-provoking poem, setting the
Thank you.
tone for the evening. So I call our next poet, Paramita Mukherjee.
We really needed to get together today on 15th August, and such a heinous crime has been committed. And I wanted to read something very, very strong, but I'll go for a lighter poem where I feel that What is freedom for a human being? So, sorry, Manali, I'll be going to a softer note here. Freedom, and it's called freedom. Freedom is in your mind. Scream for it. Scream for it. Please excuse me. I'll just open it. Freedom is in your mind. Scream for it. Search for it. You will never find. Freedom is being aware. Freedom is showing others that you care. Freedom is respecting each other. Freedom is developing oneself further and further. Freedom is not taking others' decency to be their weakness. It is something to beautify your inner being, not only your face. Freedom is limitless. It cannot be defined. It is something which helps you to be more refined. Freedom does not give you permission to exploit, nor give you license to hurt others with feelings devoid. Cherish freedom when you get it. Nurture your free life and advance it. You only have one beautiful life to enjoy freedom. You only have one beautiful mind to spread happiness in God's kingdom. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Parmita ma'am. Indeed, freedom is something which cannot be defined. Our next poet is Amita Rai. Ma'am,
You have to
audio.
unmute yourself, Amita Di. Please unmute.
Sorry. Good evening, everybody. The poem that I'm going to read today, it's based on the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, which happened in 1919. And as we all know, it happened in the Jallianwala Bagh. Bagh means garden. So here it goes. The title of the poem is The Blood-Baked Bagh. It was the sacred day of Vaishakhi. History was writ on the walls of a barn in syllables of atrocity, oozing ooze, gaping in concrete. Under the crimson glow of setting sun, the crowd in the barn had swelled to some thousands, bubbling with festive mirth, men, women, and children, together, a peaceful voice of protest against the British Raj. Suddenly, the joyous spirit was ripped. The prancing steps of children stopped short. Sweet chirp of birds turned rapturous. The British troop, with General Dyer at the helm, initiated an unprovoked cowardly attack on the crowd enclosed in Jallianwala Bagh. Pelting bullets flew in all directions. Caught unawares, people ran helter-skelter. Trampled in a stampede, panic hanged in the air. The creeping evening shadow of witness spread a shroud over the thousands dead. Little did the mighty perpetrators of the carnage know that the empire's legendary sun, famed to never set, had dug its own grave in the fury and wrath of a country springing from a blood-baked Bagh. Thank you.
Thank you, Amita ma'am, for such a powerful poem. Each incident which brought us to this freedom is something which we need to keep visiting and on the road. to understand the significance of the freedom gained. I call our next poet, very young poet, Alkun.
Good evening, everyone, and a very happy Independence Day. Tonight, I am planning to recite a poem I wrote for this occasion.
Alkun, can you just lower the camera a bit because we can see how
Visible properly. Could you please
Is
Adjust
this
your
better?
camera.
Yeah. a little more, a little more?
Is this better?
Yes, yes.
I will now recite my poem. At the midnight hour, reawakening from ashes, freedom, song of our soul, the most divine prize. As the suppressed arise, shattering the chains, the moonlit darkness watches the crown's flight. A wanted reclamation, our nation's resurrection, the revered great souls, peaceful insurrection. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alkun, for such an educated student. It's an opportunity of the online event that we are having. We have Smita Saigal ma'am joining us today. Smita ma'am, I invite you to your poem.
Very good evening to all of you. We are all very distressed with what has happened, but the need of the hour is to consolidate our strength. Now, before I come to my poem, I'd like to, throw out the question, what does freedom mean to us? It is the 78th Independence Day. What does freedom mean to us? Have we really achieved freedom? To me, freedom means freedom of mind, freedom of body, freedom to be free from violence, freedom of expression, and most importantly, as a woman, the right to safety. In 2013, the Government of India notified the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act, consistent with the Vishaka judgment, ensuring women's, or with an endeavor to ensure women's right to workplace equality and free. Similarly, Article 21 of the Constitution of India, it ensures or it promises that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. These freedoms are very, very fundamental to our existence. And it is in the very spirit of this freedom of mind and body that I'd like to present this poem. This poem was written in 2021. Those years when I was 21, I was slowly returning to poetry. The title of the poem is Unchaperoned Woman. But of course, I've modified it slightly to read Lone Woman. Lone woman, rhythm of her earth in her steps, smell of rain in breath, an unleashed river. Lone woman flows through deep forest as leaves speak in hushed tones, descends blue mountain to dip soul in waters of silence. Stars reincarnate as indigo flowers by the fence of horizon. She picks one, only one. Lone woman wanders in yellow misty dawns along blurred path, melts into gold of rising sun. A hot desert wind shall blow for her to stop by the deciduous leaves and breathe. Lone woman becomes a ripple in the lake, by the emerald fields, a lightning blue arc across the sky. She pauses by the tamarind tree to infuse raw green into depths of mind's eye. Lone woman sculpts a sand castle by the seashore, walks inwards. Sea retreats. She holds sand grains in cupped palms, letting the little elephant pass through fingers. Lone woman dies numerous deaths to be reborn every day. Blisters of her shame press around the mouth of volcano. Lone woman seeds a new earth in the soil of freedom. She will raise she will raise girls unafraid of two-legged beasts. Thank you.
Beautiful images, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, Sankita ma'am started with a song. We now go again to a song expressing the spirit of the evening. I invite Ahana Ghoshal to present her song.
থ্যাংক ইউ নমস্কার শুভ স্বাধীনতা দিবস সবাইকে আজ এই উপলক্ষে একটি সংকল্প এবং মুক্তির গান গাইব তোর আপন জনে ছাড়বে তোরে তা বলে ভাবনা করা চলবে না তোর আপন জনে ছাড়বে তোরে তা বলে ভাবনা করা চলবে না ও তোর আশা লতা পড়বে ছিঁড়ে হয়তো রে ফল ফলবে না ও তোর আশা লতা পড়বে ছিঁড়ে হয়তো রে ফল ফলবে না হয়তো রে ফল ফলবে না তা বলে ভাবনা ছাড়া চলবে না তোর আপন জনে ছাড়বে তোরে তা বলে ভাবনা করা চলবে না আসবে পথে আধার তাই বলে কে রইবে থেমে আসবে পথে আধার তাই বলে কে রইবে থেমে ও তুই বারে বারে জ্বালবি বাতি হয়তো বাতি জ্বলবে না ও তুই বারে বারে জ্বালবি বাতি হয়তো বাতি জ্বলবে না হয়তো বাতি জ্বলবে না তাহলে ভাবনা করা চলবে না তোর আপন জনে ছাড়বে তোরে তা বলে ভাবনা করা চলবে না শুনে তোমার মুখের বাণী আসবে ঘিরে বনের প্রাণী শুনে তোমার মুখের বাণী আসবে ঘিরে বনের প্রাণী হয়তো তোমার আপন ঘরে পাষাণ হিয়া গলবে না হয়তো তোমার আপন ঘরে পাষাণ হিয়া গলবে না বদ্ধ দুয়ার দেখলে বলে অমনি কি তুই আসবি চলে বদ্ধ দুয়ার দেখলে বলে অমনি কি তুই আসবি চলে তোর বারে বারে খেলতে হবে হয়তো দুয়ার টলবে না তোর বারে বারে খেলতে হবে হয়তো দুয়ার টলবে না হয়তো দুয়ার টলবে না তা বলে ভাবনা করা চলবে না তোর আপন জনে ছাড়বে তোরে তা বলে ভাবনা করা চলবে না ধন্যবাদ
Thank you so much, Ahana. হয়তো ফল ফলবে না তাও ভাবনা ছাড়া চলবে কি করে তাই ঠিক আছে I invite the next poet, Navamaliti Niyok Chakraborty.
Navamaluti Di, are you here?
One second. Yes, I'm there. Uh, I really don't know whether we should be happy or sad about the 78th Independence Day, because I feel it's a big irony of us for us to speak about freedom. And are we really free? I really don't know, but here I am with my poem, and I have named it Justice. The pride of a people, the pride of a family rests in their daughters. They are deemed to be Lakshmi. On this Independence Day, 78 of them I count. You shed your tears, folk. Pour them into my cup of grief. But I shall be unable to ever forgive the stark beatings, the slaps, and the abuses as they turn me bare to insult my womanhood. Perforce I leave the world behind, my parents, my work, and my friends, with tears that were drops of blood. They had beaten me, scratched my body like revengeful curs. They were not man. They were just a pack of hyenas. I recall the vengeful Duryodhan, the licentious, ill-mannered Dusashan, and the grudging Karna, behind whom lay a Shakuni in these rabid monsters. It was not a rape, but a show of violent hatred. Today, I kneel before what man calls a court. May I have a judgment passed that will not bring me back to life, but bring peace to my parents and punish this pugnacious soul to perdition. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It is unusual and refreshing that we still have to question whether you're happy or you're sad. And your poem has that honesty. Thank you so much. Now I call Ishita Ganguly.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you, everybody. I just have a quick question before I start. Is it okay to read two short poems? Do we have the time to read two short poems, or should I stick to one?
You have 3 minutes. You can read one or two, your wish.
Thank you. Thank you, Moa. Thank you so much. Will do. So freedom is never easy. Independence comes with great responsibility, and we're all on the brink of very important Independence Day, where we are pledging, I think all of us, we are pledging for the independence and liberation of women. No easy task, but must be done. So two poems. The first one's called Freedom. Your soul hung upside down on the window pane of my car, battered in the rain, clawing, gnawing till it blew away. Into a whirlpool of rain and dust and wind and storm. Your beautiful soul, tattered and battered, deceived by your own mind, caught in a body which had long turned soulless, imprisoned by oaths, taken and lived through, enraged, entrapped, unencumbered by visions of an illusion untrue. Distorted, disturbed, chaotic, till your soul one day, amidst the growing clouds and howling winds, decided to set itself free, out of a mind and body long lost to itself. And while it pained to let go, to tear itself from dreams, desires, domesticity, while it clamored and clawed and gnawed, look how it floats away, how it dances in the rain, in the yellows and reds and blues, reveling in its true hues, free of entrapments, lost in itself. Your beautiful soul finally flew, and my tears were washed away in the rains. I blew you a kiss as I watched you fly high into the winds, lost to me. But you were free, free at last in the dazzle of your smile, in the beauty of your truth, your inward journey, upward light, beautiful, awashed, awakened, alive, painted in your colors, in the palette that you knew was yours forever true. My second poem is called Freedom of Expression, and it's from my book, Rooted India 75 and We the People, written for India's 75th anniversary. Freedom of expression. Suppressed, conditioned, anxious, apprehensive? Why bother speaking out when it's easier to confirm? Life is short and I will die screaming unheard, buried under the billions walking the safe zone. Express? Express what? And why? To what use? Truth. What truth? Which shade of truth? Which version of it? Freedom. But who is free? When each of us, man, woman, child, is torn asunder, our minds polluted, our thoughts corrupted by religion or caste or color or gender, economy or superiority or inferiority, and we swing to the tune of the invisible Pied Piper scuttling along, fads, trends, data thrown at our faces from all directions, all expressing loudly in baritones or squeaks, in mannerisms or without, all expressing, all espousing, upholding, ranting, everything other than the only expression necessary, so necessary, the expression of being human. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much. It's very expressive and very beautifully delivered. I call Monobina Nathi to lead us.
Thank you, Monica. Greetings to all of you present here. I will recite Sarojini Naidu's poem, The Gift of India. So here it begins. Is there aught you need that my hands withhold? Rich gifts of raiment, or grain, or gold. Lo, I have flung to the east and the west, priceless treasures torn from my breast, and yielded the son of my stricken womb to the drumbeats of duty, the sabers of doom. Gathered like pearls in their alien graves, silent they sleep by the Persian waves. Scattered like shells on the Egyptian sands, they lie with pale brows and brave, broken hands. They are still like blossoms mown down by chance on the blood brown meadows of Flanders and France. Can you measure the grief of tears I weep, or compass the woe of the watch I keep, or the pride that thrills through my heart's despair, and the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer? And the far, sad, glorious vision I see of the torn red banners of victory. When the terror and the turmoil of hate shall cease, and the life be refashioned on inwards of peace, and your love shall offer memorial thanks to the comrades who fought on the dauntless ranks, and you honor the deeds of the deadless ones, remember the blood of my martyred sons. Thank you.
Thank you, Monobina, for bringing that poem for us. You can take it on.
Thank you, Monica. I needed to play both my participant and coordinator's role in light of this. Now, as we continue our celebration of patriotism, independence, I would like to invite Sritanvi Chakraborty to read her poem. Please.
Monobina,
Yes,
she won't be able to join right now. There's no electricity. So can we move ahead, with the next one?
Okay,
We'll wait for her to come back.
okay. So the next participant is Paulobi Nandi. Please read your poem. Paulobi Nandi.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Good evening, everyone. I have one, I think, like, I have one poem named Independence, Freedom, Liberty. Shall I begin? Thank you.
Yes, please.
Freedom is a privilege, it's a way of life where oppressive restrictions don't break the bones of the weak, marginalized, and the deprived. It is the power to act with the strength of the will. Freedom is the enfranchisement of the poverty-stricken underdogs who feed on the crumbs of life. Freedom for some is autarky, a far-fetched utopian dream which is forbidden by the dystopian world. Liberty is when one finds moksha in the depths of all humanity. Liberty is the feeling of oneness with all lines of discrimination blurred out of existence, lines that restrict us from evolution, from spiritual advancement, scientific innovation, and much needed social metamorphosis. It is the liberation from choking, derogatory rituals that do more harm than the hypocritical good that they promise. Liberty is the liberation from deception, from myth. Liberty is the attainment. Liberty is attaining objectivity. Independence is autonomy, unafraid acceptance of all, and yet be able to refuse to utter choric bleat, to be able to reach for divergent prospects without the restriction of want of a chance. It is the ability to give voice, have vision amidst the chaos and oppression, notwithstanding broken bones and bloody skin. It is the power to be able to tell your story unhindered, unrestricted, and unconfined. Independence is but a state of mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Pallavi. It was very inspiring to listen to you.
Thank you so much.
Our next participant is Anindita Bose. Please read your poem.
I cannot see her in the participants list.
We'll move on to the next.
We'll move on to this.
So our next participant is Devoshmita Manna. Please unmute yourself and read your poem.
শুভ সন্ধ্যা সবাইকে। আমি দেবশ্রী। কবিতাটি শুরু করার আগে এটা বলতে চাই যে সমাজে আমরা প্রত্যেকেই আজ এক বিশেষ অবস্থায় দাঁড়িয়ে। বিভিন্ন সামাজিক পরিবর্তনের কারণে আজ আমরা প্রায় সবাই বড্ড একা হয়ে পড়েছি। এই দমবন্ধ পরিবেশ থেকে মুক্তি পেতে আমার এই আশাবাদী কবিতা। একা আমি, একা তুমি, জানি না কোন একাকিত্বের বাসিন্দা আমি তুমি। এ শহরের দৃষ্টিতে নেই কোনো সহানুভূতি, সব হয়ে যায় নিখোঁজ, অশরীরী। কোন সভ্যতা অনুবাদ করে একাকিত্বকে বেঁচে থাকা? মানি না সেই সভ্যতা আর তার প্রচলিত কথা। কষ্টেরা খুঁজছে শব্দ, মানুষ খুঁজছে মানুষ। কিন্তু এরই মাঝে কথা দাও তুমি থাকবে, গড়বে এক দ্বিতীয় সমাজ, প্রয়োজনে বিপ্লব করবে, কিন্তু নামকরণ করবে নূতন ভালোবাসা। কত ভালোবাসা আজ একটি ব্যাকরণের অভাবে নীরব। বলো তুমি তাদের স্থান দেবে তোমার কবিতায়, তোমার গদ্যে। সেই সভ্যতা হবে আমার তোমার, সেই সভ্যতায় বাঁচার গান গাইব আমরা। সেখানে হারিয়ে গেলেও চিঠি পাঠাবো তোমার ঠিকানা। ধন্যবাদ।
বাহ,
What a
you
beautiful.
brought out the emotion and the depth beautifully. Thank you. Our next participant is Sangeeta Deroy. Please read your poem. Sangeeta Dera.
Do we have her here?
Yes, I'm here. So, warm good evening to everyone here. I'm Sangeeta
Good
Dera
evening.
from Assam. I would just like to take 1 second to share with you all this small joy. Twilight in the Woodland, which got released during this recent Shanti Niketan Literature Festival. So, sharing this small joy with all of you. Now I'll move on to.
Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So I'll move on to my poem. This is also written after the recent heinous crime that has happened in Kolkata, which has left us all numb and traumatized. So the title of the poem is "Freedom is," she concluded. Freedom loudly proclaims, "I'm the unchained soul without any cover-up. I'm the taste of equity and equality in a world which is worthy and fair. Freedom, I'm the shimmering waves of hello, where you can chase your dreams, knit your dreams, stitch your dreams, and be you. Blinded not by hazy lanes and fear of perpetuators. She thus dreamt so blissfully of freedom unstained, not knowing the blinds would soon suffocate and kill her dreams. The protective wings of freedom fled as creepy, brutal eyes squeezed out the light and her breath. She cast a questioning look of freedom. If freedom was silencing the truth and consuming unexplored dreams, as she lay in the quagmire of pain and anguish, she concluded, freedom was a colossal struggle, a fight for right in a world which is not worthy and fair. Freedom is a chameleon written loud in glitter. Freedom is not the elegant spectrum of colors. Often those who shout slogans of freedom are obtuse as can be. It's time we validate the name freedom. Thank you. Thank you,
Your
ma'am.
reading was a perfect tribute to the Independence Day. Thank you for reading for us.
Thank you.
I would request our next participant, Pranav Ghosh, to read this poem.
Thanks a lot. Am I audible? Hello? Am I
Yes, you are
audible?
audible.
Thanks
Yes,
a lot.
yes, sir.
The name of this poem, recently written, is you'd come to know about it. How recent it is. It's August 15th. Our ancestors, their fight, their tryst, bore fruit at midnight 7 decades and 7 years ago. I was born in a free country, our country, among our people, our friends, our family, our country. We felt safe, secured, loved. We felt like we were eagerly awaited. Our arrival was dear to them, too, you know. We grew up amidst joy and laughter, agony and ecstasy, pain and pleasure. We laughed, we cried, we won, we lost. We fought for a better life, job, career. These two were years ago, say 5+ decades ago. Now our sisters, brothers, and children embark on that journey down the paths striven with joy and sorrow, pain and pleasure, success and failure. The same paths, expecting the same share of success, of failure, of heartbreak, of love. But only a couple of days ago, in August 2024, a few days before our 78th Independence Day, the headlines screamed, dependence, limping democracy, degrading moral values, social insecurity, heinous crime, murder, rape. Dependence on lumpen ideals. Government fails to protect human dignity. Blind opportunism seems to be the order of the day. A medical intern lady gets murdered and raped, or raped and murdered in her workplace. A hospital. A hospital, a lady doctor, her marriage date had recently been finalized. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Well, it takes time to digest, even after post-pandemic deaths and job losses. It takes time to fathom, to realize what is being discussed. What shall we all do now? It takes time to regain sanity. Burning anger creates a hole in equilibrium. Balance tilted, we feel like beheading the culprits. But alas, there is law, there is democracy, there is administration, criminal jurisprudence. Therefore, we rally. We protest. We decide to stand by our daughters, sisters, friends, mothers at all at midnight to take over the streets, to make everyone understand that women have right to feel and stay safe even at the dead of the night under the sky anywhere in this city, state, country. And that too after 77 years of independence. Independence. What, where, when, who, why, and how? Well, we are cooking breaking news at lightning speed, beating competition hollow. Crime sells, so does sex and sleaze. Well, our democratic foundation has different ingredients, I think. Woody, happy Independence Day. Friends, Kolkatans, countrymen. May your birthday be celebrated for time immemorial. May your birthday be celebrated for time immemorial. May your birthday be celebrated for time immemorial. May you, Mother India, be omnipotent, omnipresent, and live happily ever after our births and deaths. Let life renew its meaning, its purpose, and live on from August 15, 2024 with renewed zeal. Let's all. Thank you.
It was a perfect tribute to our country. Thank you for reading.
Thanks a lot.
I would request Sufia Khatun to read her poem.
I'm actually reading from the streets. I found a chai stall and a nook, and then I'm standing there to do some reading. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are completely audible.
Great. So I'm taking 2 minutes because this poem, I think it needs to be read from the streets, and there's no other way to do it. This is called Radius of Safety. The city lanes and by lanes are steeper, thinner, shorter, darker, and lined with predators. Around a growing woman's body, a radius is drawn for safety. Rings and loops and hooks, inside, outside, catcalls, groping hands, grazing, forcing, holding. Any, walking, sitting, working, studying, laughing, enjoying, crying, hoping, struggling, fighting, dreaming, confident or weak bodies. They inch closer. 50 centimeter. अरे साला कमाल है बे. 45 centimeter. Darling, थोड़ा इधर भी देखो. Flying smooches and wagging tongues and fingers in play. 30 centimeter. हाय मस्त बॉडी है यार. बस एक बार मिल जाए. 25 centimeter. देखो इसको छू कर छेड़ेंगे, कुछ नहीं कर पाएगी. 20 centimeter. घर के नीचे पकड़ के देखेंगे कहाँ भागेगी. 15 centimeter. अरे जाने मन कहाँ चली, मैं पीछा नहीं चढ़ूंगा. 5 centimeter, inching closer. Bodies are grazing, groping, closing in, stalking, lusting, cursing, insulting, eyeing, forcing. Woman's body to disappear and glaze the city streets with fear, breaking in through the radius of safety. Thank you. So I hope I was
Thank you. Your voice carried the hopes and dreams of our nation beautifully. It was very inspiring. Thank you for
It's
reading.
very difficult, because every day it's not just about because of one incident. We
Yes.
are constantly fighting every day when we go out.
Yes.
For one woman, I believe there are at least 100 predators out there to constantly insult us and our modesty and create that fear in us that we cannot go out on the streets. And if we are, we have to deal with this. It's like our normal. We have grown with this normality, and I don't
Yes.
think in the next 20 or 50 years also we will get freedom from this abnormality that's there in society that we women are struggling with. So thank you
We
for
are still
giving this.
captivated, yes.
Yeah. Not in the next 500 years.
No, I feel yes, definitely. It's not going away. It's not going away. It's
It's
there.
nothing is happening from the myths to the media.
Nothing is happening. So yeah, while even I'm reading, I'm still on the streets and I can hear catcalls. So yeah, it's difficult. So I have to now walk and then further listen to the rest of the poems. Thank you.
Thank you for reading. Thank you. Thank you so much. Moving to our next participant, Amit Shankar Shaha. Please enlighten the day with your poem.
Thank you, Monubina. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, this poem I wrote in 2015, and it was addressed to a 3-year-old child, our treasurer Ananna's daughter, when she was just 3 years old. And I've specifically chosen this poem to read today because after the poem I'll explain. I'll read the poem first. Dear Bonhi Shikha, yesterday you kept your head on your father's lap and perhaps you slept. Perhaps you lost yourself in musical strains and found yourself in a different world. And here we have bending roofs and cringing walls. Here to breathe is to disgrace, and the mind is a cellular space. Here, thoughts of pain no music can overcome. And here we celebrate independence, but you celebrate freedom. It is this difference. We may be independent financially, the country is doing well, but the idea of freedom when everyone feels safe, like that 3-year-old child, it can trust its parents, it can trust its relatives, it can trust its friends, we can trust our teachers, we can trust our seniors, we can trust. Humanity is all about trust. We trust each other, that's why we are civilized. When we achieve such kind of safety, then only the true freedom comes. Obviously, everyone has their own human prejudices and egos and other things, and like poets also. But when we cross that human level to becoming inhuman, that is where all the problem comes. And we should recognize what is human and what is not human. And I think I just have a suggestion that before we end this poetry reading session, somewhere we should just observe 30 seconds of silence so that it can get recorded before we remove the live stream and recording. Then it will be good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was wonderful to listening to you. It filled the room with pride. So our next participant is one of the coordinators, like Mahua Sen, to read her poem. Please give it to her, Mahua Sen.
Thank you, Monubina. My poem is called Albatross. Albatross is a metaphor for freedom. Tonight, raindrops bang against my windows, not in a gentle patter, but more like dozens of voices howling in pain. I try to catch myself from falling into a precipice of thoughts that refuse to leave. Scores of reasoning ramble in my mind. A woman in a rural village tied to a tree, stripped naked and beheaded by her own brothers because she fell in love with a man who goes to a sanctum forbidden to her religion. Collapsing on the tarmac of her own shadow, she, a marionette, breathes her last. A divorcee is being bullied into chronic depression, labeled a slut because she chose to remarry. Now disowned by her kith and kin, she wanders like an unclaimed blue package and kills herself in the palm of her own hands. A 6-year-old. A 6-year-old gets raped inside a holy place for 6 days. A solitary star. Now crushed, crumpled, compressed, a truncated silence yearns for a fleet of stars to spark up the hostile sky. She draws an albatross with an obtuse pencil on a crumpled paper. Broken wings, gasping to fly. An old man burnt alive in the middle of the street for the god he chose to pay obeisance to. While men watched in silence, the flames pranced and leapt. His grandson spots an albatross over the sea, folds his hands in prayers. Please fly up in the sky and ask my grandpa to come back. Men and women and children dragged out of their homes and shot on the streets because someone on the high chair decides to play God and annihilate people that do not feed his needs. Termite feasts on the exposed lesions of time. A young doctor gets raped and brutally killed in a renowned city hospital. Blood drips from the vestiges of punctured night. A rancid odor wafts, dousing a cascade of unfulfilled dreams. What remains is blood, flesh, and bones, silhouetting the ivory sky. I wonder if all of them had once wished to be like an albatross and fly into the crocus sky towards a harvested sun, fluttering in search of a safe place. But where is that safe place? Where is that safe place? Does it have a room to hold the girth of emancipation? Thank you.
Thank you for reading such a heartful poem.
Thank you.
I would request our last participant, Dhi Sharkar, to read his poem.
Good evening, everyone, and a very happy Independence Day. Am I audible?
Yes, you are
Okay,
audible, but you are not visible.
yeah, but
Yes.
yeah, video is kind of acting up, so I apologize for that. Looks like
Okay.
I can't be visible on this occasion because my
Okay, no
video
problem.
is not working. So yeah, sorry about that. So reading last is kind of difficult for me because my poem is a bit pessimistic, and it deals with what happened. I mean, the flip side of what happened last night at the midnight hour. We know that the entire city and the women of the city came out in protest and solidarity. But on the other hand, there were, unexplained and outrageous vandalism, which went, on a rampage, and we are just and the and the weakness of the law and order situation just came out very starkly. So this poem talks about all of this. So it's called Night of the Circus. I went out this morning to buy fish for my foster cats. In some invisible stage somewhere, a child was yelling, "We are all kings." At the end of the song, she yelled, "Extra." I fancied if I ever have children, I will never ask them to yell in public. It was the king's men who pulled down the stage. They were not Shakespearean. They shook rods and sticks. They were not crucifiers, but the soldiers who stuck the spear at Christ's side as an afterthought. Taking control of the streets was done by dawn, and protectors made a tryst with destiny by hiding in toilets in the gynecological department at the strike of the midnight hour. Are uniforms white because the days of the white night are over? In this city at the country's end, the world feels upside down. The roads I ply every day will be barricaded for a week. An orange dictator will add a brownie point from Bengal in his I-Day self-advertisement. We are all kings in our king's kingdom. Can such tautology ever sustain citizenship? In this city at the country's end, far too close to the burning half of Bengal, trysts made at midnight are broken by the witching hour. The word Abhaya wafts around in the wind, echoing another young doctor who never got older, dead in the very city at the center of the country where the actual trysts was made. I wonder why dead women are so fearless, so free from boy. In this glorious country where independence is strewn in the streets as congealed candle walks, are women fearless only after they die? Thank you.
Thank you for reading such a powerful poem. With this, I would request Nikita Di to cast a vote of thanks to all present here, given to her. Nikita Di.
Hello, hi. Can we have like 30 seconds of silence before we move on to the vote of thanks?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll begin the vote of thanks by thanking the president of our advisory board, Professor Bashubi Fraser. And then I would like to thank the president of our executive committee, Professor Sanjukta Das Gupta ma'am, the rest of the executive committee, some of whom are here,
And I would like to thank Nabanita Di and Nishya Di for tech support, and all my fellow coordinators, Mahua Sen, Monica Lewis, and Monobina Devnath, all the participants, and everyone who has joined on Zoom or is watching via Facebook Live. Happy Independence Day. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Nikita. Would you not be reading a poem?
No, I'm not reading one tonight.
Can we have
Maybe
all
next
of
time.
you switch on your cameras so that we can
Cameras,
take a
yeah.
quick picture, please? Switch on your cameras, please, all of you.